soaking up the rays in Fort Myers, Florida at the 2021 Geico High School Nationals presented by Gatorade. We close out the quarterfinals with 4 versus 5. AZ Compass Prep from suburban Phoenix and Wasatch Academy from Mount Pleasant, Utah. The chalk holding so far in this round, Montverde manhandled Oak Hill just moments ago. IMG and Sunrise Christian eking out wins earlier today. So glad to have you with you, to be with you courtside. Ted Emmerich along with ESPN's National Director of Recruiting, Paul Biancardi. And Paul, it's time to settle in for a tantalizing point guard matchup.
This is a high-level matchup between two teams that love to go up and down and score points. We have two of the best guards in the country, Ty Washington, Nolan Hickman. This one is going to be exciting.
And let's start with Hickman, who is headed to Kentucky, McDonald's All-American for Wasatch.
Nolan Hickman, smart, skilled, and determined. He can play the point. He can play a shooting guard spot. I love his versatility. Love his leadership. He signed with John Calipari at Kentucky. He is going to bring the Wildcats what they need: scoring, facilitating, and toughness.
And Hickman is our Gatorade Player Spotlight. He says that Kentucky was the offer he was waiting for. From Seattle, it's his lifelong dream to play at Kentucky. That's where he is headed next year. But tonight, he has to contend with Ty Washington of AZ Compass Prep.
Ty Washington is a dynamic scoring point guard. He's got great range on his three-point shot. He's quick with the dribble, doesn't settle for shots, loves to be efficient. This guy will play defense and take charges. He's one of the top unsigned players in the country. Ty Washington.
Originally committed to Creighton. He decommitted on March 11th. Schools that he's focused on at the moment: Kansas, Oklahoma State, Arizona, UCLA, Auburn, and LSU. He's been on a lot of Zoom calls the last 2 weeks, Paul, but he told his coach, Ed Gibson, it's not important this week. I am locked in for Geico.
No Zoom fatigue this week for Ty Washington. That guy excites me. 3 in the neon green.
Wasatch in the dark gray. AZ Compass Prep making its first Geico Nationals appearance. What a resume they put together, winning the championship of the grind session of the high school leagues. They turn it over on their first possession. They beat prolific Prep twice. They've beaten Sunrise Christian and Oak Hill, 3 teams in this event. Starting lineups presented by the United States Marine Corps. And for Wasatch Academy, you've got that backcourt joining Nolan Hickman. Also, Pop Isaacs, Richard Isaacs Jr., number 33 in the ESPN 60, and Roddy Gale in the ESPN 60 as well, headed to Ohio State. And Hickman is on the board first.
Great call from the bench, Paul Peterson. They saw the over play on Hickman. They ran a back cut, got a layup.
Noticeably absent in the AZ Compass Prep starting lineup, Deron Holmes, top 50 player in the country, headed to Dayton, ruled ineligible for this tournament, transferring just after the deadline. Literally, we're talking about days, but the rule was enforced. He cannot play for AZ Compass Prep. Washington forces it at the end of the shot clock, didn't touch the rim, and it's a shot clock violation. Wasatch Academy, 3 ranked players overall, as we mentioned, all in that backcourt: Hickman, Isaacs, and Gale, who joined the team just before the deadline to play at Geico Nationals.
That's a strong trio of perimeter players. They all kind of feed off each other. They look for each other. And they're a connected unit. That's why Wasatch has been so successful this season.
Gale missed the 3 for Wasatch, making its 4th Geico appearance. 0-3, losing in the quarterfinal round all 3 times. Andrame Diongu had it knocked out. Numbers for Wasatch. And Robbie Armbrester puts it in, the senior from Atlanta who is signed with Houston.
He fits that profile to a T. Defensive-minded, has toughness. It's everything that Kelvin Sampson tries to evaluate in the recruiting process.
Out of bounds. to Wasatch Academy.
Both of these teams play really good man-to-man defense, and they want to get out and push it. I said a high-scoring game. They want to go up and down. Neither team, you know, is interested in slowing it down because of their guard play. But watching these teams live and on film, I see a lot of chemistry. That's what makes this game exciting. A lot of talent, a lot of chemistry.
Pop Isaacs around and out with the floater. Glenn Taylor leads the break for AZ Compass Prep from Chandler, Arizona in the Phoenix metro area. Washington off target. Isaacs the lob and tipped away by Josh Udoji from London. And Udoji slams it at the other end. Right back down the floor. Wasatch turns it over. Washington, a couple up fakes, got two defenders off their feet, missed the shot. Gale out in front, and he missed the layup. You want up tempo, we got that in this game.
There's not going to be a problem with pace in this game. And there's skill on the floor to have each team make double-figure threes. I think transition defense, three-point line defense is going to be crucial.
Udoji couldn't hit, out to Wasatch. Udoji had the game-winning three in the Grind Session Championship back in March, beating BFL Prep from Seattle, which featured Paulo Banchero, top 3 player in the country.
AZ Compass Prep did very well in the Grind Session, as did Prolific Prep.
Wasatch Academy, part of the NIBC, which was created this season, including Montverde, La Lumiere, Oak Hill, and others. Andrame Diangu with the block. And it'll stay with Wasatch.
Diangu, close to 7 feet tall, shrinks the rim.
Armbruster off the inbound, count it, and the foul. You want heart, you want passion, headed to Houston, yeah, he fits.
It's just a simple screen the screener action, then seal your man, pound your chest 6 times, go to free throw line.
He says he loves the gritty style that Kelvin Sampson wants at Houston. He also identifies, hey, Sampson is putting guys in the league from Houston.
And when you look at his frame, 6'6", long arms, high energy. As I said before, defensive minded. You know, that comes first in his book.
Taylor, double clutch, he draws the foul. And we've got a timeout. Good pace to this one, not many points thus far, and we will step aside. The 2021 Geico High School Nationals is brought to you by Geico. Save even more when you bundle home and car insurance. Gatorade Zero, all the electrolytes, zero sugar, and McDonald's. Paul Robbie Armbruster starting the fire for Wasatch tonight.
Yeah, he does it in transition really well. Great wingspan, he's +4. Smart on the inbound play to seal his man. Toughness to finish through contact.
So he and teammate Casey Jones are known as the Bash Brothers, and we're not talking about McGuire and Canseco, more like Fulton Reed and Dean Portman from D2, the Mighty Ducks. Paul Peterson, their coach, says they're exactly the same person. Physical defenders. They hated each other at the start of practice this season. They argued constantly. So Peterson thinks of the movie D2, Mighty Ducks, shows them the clip. And Peterson said, what if you guys actually work together? And all of a sudden it clicked. Now they are the enforcers of the team.
It's like a family. You're close, and sometimes you don't like each other. You get on each other's nerves, but that's coaching Paul Peterson is doing. He's finding the right message to get his players to work together. And that's part of being a great coach. You know, it's the message that you can send to your players. It's being relatable. And I just thought that was brilliant to get those guys on the same page.
Taylor with a couple of free throws for AZ Compass Prep. Casey Jones's dad even bought shoes and hockey jerseys to play on with the bid. Basket inside for Wasatch. They're up 9-4.
So they got gear out of it too.
That's right, even better.
So you can't go wrong.
Were Katarina and Alyssa into D2 Mighty Ducks?
They're in all those movies.
Pop Isaacs is into the three-point line. 12-4 lead.
You got to have Disney Plus now, and I know you have it with you.
Yes, absolutely. Get that bundle with Hulu and ESPN Plus. Game changer. Ty Washington rejected by Fusini Traore, who's headed to BYU.
Tell you what, Washington made the right move. Traore made a great block.
Off the skip, Pop Isaacs loading up. Off target this time. And a foul off the floor on Wasatch. Well, Casey Jones comes in for Wasatch. Saw him without the goggles. Now he's ready. Game face is on for Paul Peterson and Wasatch.
Good shooting, big. And he loves to take charges.
Committed to Eastern Washington. Shante Leggins leaving Eastern Washington for Portland in the WCC. Diongu, the offensive rebound. Out to Taylor. And Traore with the board.
AZ Compass Prep. A lot of shots in the paint near the rim. Can't finish.
They're 1 for 10 and 0 of 5 from 3. Traore had it stripped. Washington, the pull-up. Ty is 0 for 5 to start here in his Geico Nationals debut.
Yeah, but all good looks.
Hickman, pure.
I think this guy's going to be really special at Kentucky. Had a nice conversation with him earlier today. Just about guys transferring and recruiting. You know, when he gets to Kentucky, he knows it's not going to be easy. There's going to be some adversity. He goes, you know, that's part of being young. You got to fight through situations.
And Taylor with the scoop for AZ Compass Prep. And nothing was easy for Kentucky this past season, as we know.
And that's what Hickman's going to bring. He's going to bring the right mindset. You know, he's not thinking about one and done. He's trying to think about how he can get from building A to building B, be the best player he can be, and help his team win.
Javon Small stepped out of bounds. A turnover for AZ Compass Prep. Women's Final Four tomorrow on ESPN and the app. A couple of 1 seeds locking up. First at 6 Eastern, South Carolina and Stanford, followed by Connecticut and Arizona. They're at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. What an event that has become. The battle between UConn and Baylor in the Elite Eight earlier this week that really belonged in the Final Four. More drama ahead.
Just the ending didn't belong in the Final Four.
No kidding. That whistle should have blown. There's no question about it. Offensive foul. Alden Applewhite returning from injury. Well, we have our Geico Girls Nationals bracket. Starts with the semifinals tomorrow on ESPNU at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Lake Highland, right here in Florida. Paul VI, of course, from the WCAC, the DC metro area. Westlake, the top seed from Georgia, with Raven Johnson, number 2 overall player in the country, who's headed to South Carolina. Isaacs. Washington the rebound and the run out. Josh Udoji left it short. Taking it back. AJ Storr putting it up. Foul is called with 19.4 remaining. Forget about the tip in. The foul was on Storr as he was in the act of shooting. Paul Peterson is in his first year as a head coach, 34 years old, promoted After Dave Evans moved on to start the basketball program at Real Salt Lake Academy, Peterson says it was an organic transition, had a lot of responsibilities in-game already. In fact, Wasatch didn't interview any other candidates, and this is a program that is certainly on the rise. They felt most comfortable with Peterson, and he's making that decision pay off.
He's done a fabulous job at Wasatch Academy. Really a relatable guy, and you can see why the kids want to play for him. Good teacher of the game. Into the defensive end of the floor. Just an all-around very good coach.
Jones at the end of the quarter. No foul. He was looking for it. But we end the first with Wasatch Academy leading 14-7 in the quarterfinals at Geico Nationals. Let's check out our McDonald's All-American Spotlight. And the last McDonald's All-American game played in 2019. Cole Anthony, product of Oak Hill. He was the MVP of that game. Of course, the 1 year at Carolina, now with the Orlando Magic. Well, no McDonald's All-American game this year, but Nolan Hickman was honored, selected to the team, the first Wasatch Academy player to be a McDonald's All-American. And Paul, let's put the paintbrush to canvas, the art of the point guard.
Well, he checks all those boxes. He serves others first. He has uncommon vision. He's more of a decision maker than a risk taker. He makes shots, but he's not shot happy. And that's important as a point guard because you got to get your teammates involved. And he defends the ball well, and he's very good at fighting over ball screens. He's the complete package at the point guard spot.
Ty Washington, his counterpart tonight. By the way, Washington and Hickman separated by just 6 spots in the ESPN 100. Both point guards going head-to-head tonight. Final game in the quarterfinal round at Geico Nationals here in Fort Myers. Ted Emmerich, Paul Biancardi, our entire crew. The winner will match up with top seed Montverde tomorrow in the semis. Loose ball scooped up, and now heading Wasatch's way. Or was a timeout called?
Looks like a timeout.
Yep, timeout for AZ Compass Prep. Beg your pardon. They were in trouble and got the timeout here early in the second.
Yeah, I thought Ty Washington got pushed or bumped to the floor,
Yep.
but see, the way he got up impresses me. No complaints, just goes to the bench, doesn't look at the official. Him and Nolan Hickman, they really play the game from the neck up.
Mentioned Hickman, he's a part of the #3 recruiting class in the country for 2021, going to Kentucky.
Yeah, they have Damian Collins coming in as well, the big-time shot blocker. You know, John Calipari's teams were best when they had that big shot blocker, that consistent shot blocker in the back. And I think Damian Collins is going to be that guy. Bryce Hopkins as well can shoot it, stretch forward type. They also just landed a transfer of Kellen Grady from Davidson.
Yes.
Excellent size, outside shooter. You know John Calipari is not done in recruiting, whether it be more high school players or transfers. But I love the class he has coming in. You know, I can say that every year because of the talent, but I like the makeup of these players in terms of Hickman, Hopkins, and Collins.
What makes it different from the last class there at Kentucky with B.J. Boston, Devin Askew, and so on and so forth?
Well, I thought some of those guys, you know, were thinking about leaving before they got there. And I thought the way they played, it didn't seem like they really unpacked their bags, bought into everything, and they probably didn't think they had to work on much stuff until they got into practice, into non-conference games, the SEC. This group with Hickman and Hopkins and Collins, they have a workman-like mentality, and they plan on being there for a while, and I think that's the biggest difference.
Slapped out of bounds by Applewhite. Still Wasatch ball, 10 on the shot clock. You say that Hickman reminds you a little bit of Emmanuel Quickly?
He really does. You know, he's a quiet, unassuming star, in my opinion, much like Quickly. Shoots it from the outside, but also a playmaker. Highly coachable, leader on the floor. He has all the same attributes as Emmanuel Quickly.
Foul on Isaiah Brody with 5 on the shot clock. You also threw out Darius Garland as well.
Yeah, the way he gets downhill, you know, a little bit more than Emmanuel Quickly. Garland was great off the bounce. If you're a combination of Darius Garland and Emmanuel Quickly, you're going to be a really good player in college.
Take that quickly, former SEC Player of the Year, and shining with the Knicks now under Tom Thibodeau, who you know very well.
I know him all too well. I know those
Salem State.
Yeah, I know those practices are still hard.
How old was he when he was your head coach?
Probably like 26.
Wow.
And I was 22 as a senior. We could have went out at night. Problem is I was too tired.
After his practices, right?
He was fantastic. You know, he took somebody like me who loved the game and brought that love to another level. Made us all better than we were. No surprise with his success in the NBA.
Brennan Rigsby, instant offense off the bench. Couldn't hit for Wasatch. Moved to the bench after Roddy Gale joined the team in December. Washington, oh, missed another one. That close, he's 0 for 6. Hickman. Off the mark. Numbers, Washington to Small. A.J. Storr couldn't hit either. Hickman, extra feed, and Keba Keita is fouled.
Wasatch, they love to attack the rim. I mean, they're not bringing it over half court, probing, they're attacking.
Keita from Mali, West Africa. His brother Numori, a star professional volleyball player in South Korea. And Keita off the bench, another rim protector. As Paul Peterson told us, it looks like it's goaltending half the time in practice.
Still working on his touch, his offensive game, but a freakish type athlete.
Now there's Numori. Again, professional volleyball player in South Korea. Numori knows how to spike it. Keba knows how to spike some shots on the interior. But missed a couple of free throws there. So AZ Compass Prep just trying to get to double digits. They're 3 of 17 from the floor and 0 of 6 from 3.
Well, they've missed some shots, and Wasatch has made them miss some shots. Nolan Hickman on the left wing just denying Ty Washington the basketball.
Taylor, the kick. Brody, no. Hickman lines it up. Washington the rebound. One of the top uncommitted players on the board in the senior class. Oh, Washington, a careless turnover. Just lost it. Hickman right in front of him.
Yeah, he doesn't make many mistakes. No. This kid has a vivacious personality. When you speak to him on the phone, always upbeat, always positive. Ed Gibson does a fabulous job with AZ Compass Prep. So well organized. I love their sets on offense, their defensive makeup. He gets them to play on both sides of the ball.
Offensive foul on Traore, who is puzzled. Traore, also from Mali, along with Keita. Another look. Blocker charge, Paul.
Oh, no, that's a big-time charge. That left shoulder. Bent over a little bit. Put that shoulder right into the defensive player. If he went straight up, no charge.
Little press from Wasatch. Throw it up to the 7-footer. That was intended for an 8-footer. Not even Diangu could corral it. Hickman. Oh, the drop-off in close quarters. He locates Traore for the basket.
And that's the thing about Hickman. A great decision maker. Takes the defense with him, finds his teammate with the drop-off. That is special, uncommon vision.
Taylor, an air ball. Oh, but saved by Udoji. And Applewhite is fouled with 6 on the timer. AZ Compass Prep hasn't played in 24 days. They look like it. 3 of 19 from the floor. Paul Peterson and Wasatch with the lead. Paul?
Wasatch always on attack mode. How about this dime? Nice and soft, easy 2 for Wasatch.
(16-9) Wasatch. You want to talk about being a good teammate and being unselfish. Wasatch's Fusini Traore went to his coach Paul Peterson and said, I want you to give Keba Keita some of my minutes. Here's what Peterson told us on Zoom last week.
You want to give him your minutes. You tell him he needs to earn your respect and give it everything you have, because this is what you're asking for. This isn't what coach is giving him. This is what you're asking. He just wants to see his teammate do better. He doesn't like to see his teammate sad on the side, because, you know, he wants to be playing more. And he did that. And that just shows what kind of kid he is. He just wants to win, and he's selfless.
And again, Traore, the starter, Keita, the backup, Peterson getting emotional. That warms your heart, doesn't it? That a high school player would go to his coach and offer that.
I always tell kids, you want to be the teammate that you want to have. Traore trying to get everybody involved, thinking of others. And you listen to Paul Peterson. It's hard to believe that he's a first-year head coach in many ways. He's so relatable. He understands each player on an individual basis. And you see him just breaking down in that interview how much he loves his players.
Alden Applewhite is at the line. Mississippi State commit, playing his first game since November after suffering a foot injury. Ed Gibson thought it was a torn Achilles at first. They all thought he was done for the year, but rehabbed. Turned out it was not torn, and he's back on the court here at Geico Nationals months later. Armbruster lost it on the way up against Diongu. Washington trying to put the train on the tracks, and getting to the line will help.
Sometimes when the jumper's not going down, you're missing layups, you just got to keep attacking. Get to the free throw line, you slow yourself down, get an opportunity for points, and more importantly, you get an opportunity to see the ball go in the basket.
And Coach B, Paul Peterson, is familiar with Ty Washington. He's recruited him for the last 2 years, wanted him to come to Wasatch Academy. Washington and Pop Isaacs are on the same summer team, Vegas Elite. Peterson is so impressed with him. Yes, you know, Washington decides to stay home and go with AZ Compass Prep. Peterson's last birthday, Washington sends him a happy birthday text. Peterson's like, who does that? What high school kid does that for a coach he doesn't play for?
I'm telling you, this kid is different, Ty Washington. Really respectful. As I said, vivacious with his personality. And he says thank you all the time. Really respectful and thoughtful.
Washington on the 3-ball, swirls in his first field goal, and it comes from distance. 1-point game.
That came right after the made free throws.
No coincidence, right?
Such a confidence game, shooting the basketball.
Hickman off the spin. No look feed to Traore. That was pretty.
Nolan Hickman doesn't get fancy very often. But when he does, there's a purpose behind it.
Applewhite offline. Casey Jones, one of the Bash brothers for Wasatch with the board. Hickman fires it ahead. It's intercepted by Udoji. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Scoop by Taylor, not there. Laser beam inside for Traore. What a pass.
Great pass by Pop. He's coming to the dribble. He was looking for the big the whole time.
See Traore trying to wipe his eyes.
Great hands by Traore to catch that on the go.
And not all bigs can handle that. Hickman can handle that. The steal. Wasatch on the break. Again, no look. The bounce feed to Traore for the slam.
Big man runs the floor really well. Keeps rubbing that left eye. I'm impressed with his hands. The ability to catch and move for bigs is really hard.
Wasatch has scored 6 in a row. Oh, now Traore got it away from Diongu. 2 more. +1. Fusini Traore at both ends.
Traore, my goodness gracious. Challenging the ball 35 feet away from the basket and coming up with the steal, the basket, maybe the assist. How about that dime right there by Hickman to Traore? Big man runs. Hickman delivers.
Missed the free throw, but 12 points for Traore. 6 of 6 from the floor.
Just the ability to go that far away from the basket, get in your stance and get a steal. That was impressive.
Small the wraparound. A.J. Storr right down the chute. A 3-ball that AZ Compass Prep needed.
Storr is a big-time athlete. He had a Sports Center top 10 dunk earlier this season. Young man from Chicago.
Offensive foul. It's on Roddy Gale Jr. So the Ohio State commit picks up the personal.
Just ran him right over.
40 seconds left in the half. AZ Compass Prep Paul shooting just 19%, and they're hanging in.
They're hanging in because of their defense. They've had a lot of good looks early in this game. Ty Washington finally got to the free throw line, made the free throws, then next possession made the three-point shot. You know, his confidence doesn't go away. They just need to continue to try to operate in the half court.
Washington spin, couldn't finish. Here's Isaacs. Shot clock is dark.
And I love the way Pop Isaacs called for that ball. He said, let me finish the half, guys. We're going to get the last shot. Good leadership by Pop Isaacs.
With the taller Applewhite on him. Down to 5. Isaacs makes his move. The kick. Armbruster. Good. A 3-ball. Perfect execution at the end of the half for Wasatch Academy.
Pop Isaacs takes it to the paint, sprays it out right on time. Armbruster knocks it down from the corner. Pop Isaacs, high basketball IQ. Call him Popeye.
27-18 Wasatch. Coming up, we take a closer look at the new transfer proposal in college basketball. The 2021 Geico High School Nationals is brought to you by Buick, with a family of premium SUVs designed around you. Paul, I know you're dying to go swimming. Don't go swimming here.
That sign needs to be a little bit bigger, the no swimming sign.
Halftime here at Geico Nationals, the quarterfinal round. Ted Emmerich and Paul Biancardi. And let's now go where just about everyone else is in college basketball right now, the transfer portal. And to help guide us through this alternate dimension, we welcome in ESPN.com recruiting insider Adam Finkelstein. Adam, the proposal that will be approved soon allows players to transfer without penalty once in their career. Basically, you transfer, you can play right away, and we're already seeing it's creating chaos in college basketball.
Yeah. It certainly is, Ted. And you know, regardless of the outcome of that proposal, I think from a pragmatic standpoint, what we saw last year with the impact of the pandemic was, even though the rule hadn't passed, for all intents and purposes, it came into effect because it was something like over 90% of the waivers were approved. So most of this is already happening for the most part. Players were transferred, were granted immediate eligibility this year. And I think the same thing is going to happen next year as we continue to see the implications of the pandemic. This proposal could just formalize a trend that we've seen now for the better part of the last year.
Adam, what does this do to the high school player, the class of 2021?
Well, it puts them way on the back burner. I've always equated the recruiting world to supply and demand, where your level is dictated by the level of school that wants you. And if you're a college coach right now, and you have such little job security in that industry, as we all know, you've got to go with experience. And so if you can get a transfer, or you can get, remember, junior college players didn't lose a year of eligibility last year either. And it wasn't just seniors in college basketball who got their year back, but it was everyone. So essentially you have the supply of talent for college coaches has never been higher. And that really limits the demand for high school players. So my message when I've talked to high school kids is to understand that they need to recalibrate their expectations, but also understand that if they're not getting recruited by the level of school that they once were, it's not an indication of them or that they disappointed anyone. It's just a reality of the market. And again, these implications that the pandemic has caused on college basketball in the recruiting world.
Adam, we appreciate the time, and we have already seen that with a lot of players here at Geico Nationals. Their recruiting has certainly been affected. We'll be sure to follow it and follow you as well, Adam. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, guys.
Adam Finkelstein, ESPN.com recruiting insider. So we are at the half here at Geico Nationals. 4 games today here on ESPNU. Highlights and stats coming up next. Let's get on a boat here in Fort Myers, Florida Gulf Coast. Final quarterfinal at Geico Nationals here in 2021, presented by Gatorade. Wasatch Academy with the lead over AZ Compass Prep. NBA Sunday Showcase on ABC, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. It's the Lakers taking on Kawhi, PG, and the Clippers. Also on the ESPN app. Here on ESPNU, yes, 4 games today, and we still have 1 half to go here in this quarterfinal round. Ted Emmerich along with ESPN's National Director of Recruiting, Paul Biancardi. Love the pace to this one for sure. Shots just really aren't falling. What has stood out to you?
The backcourt for Wasatch, Nolan Hickman, Pop Isaacs, 8 assists, 2 turnovers. They're playing really good defense. Arizona Compass Prep, they have 9 turnovers. Wasatch got 11 points from that. They have to cut down on their mistakes, make a few more threes.
Yeah, meanwhile, AZ Compass Prep just shooting awful thus far, 22%. Wasatch, meanwhile, yes, with Nolan Hickman, the future Kentucky Wildcat.
Yeah, when this guy's in charge, you can feel good on the sidelines. Always make strong decisions with the basketball. Can score or look for others. Knows when to give it up, knows how to give it up. And how about that dime by Pop Isaacs? They have controlled the pace of this game and the execution for Wasatch.
Traore leads all scorers with 12. Second half after this. Welcome back to the 2021 Geico High School Nationals, presented by Gatorade here at Suncoast Credit Union Arena in Fort Myers, Florida. Our last quarterfinal, Wasatch Academy, the 5 seed, up 27-18 over AZ Compass Prep. Ted Emmerich, Paul Biancardi, our entire crew. We take a look at the Geico first half stats. Wasatch holding AZ Compass to 22% shooting, 5 of 23, 2 of 11 from 3, and Wasatch converting turnovers into points. As you mentioned, Paul, a moment ago, 9 turnovers leading to 11 points for the Tigers.
That's been the biggest difference in this game. AZ Compass Prep with the turnovers. Wasatch, they make you pay. At this level of basketball, when you make a mistake, these teams are going to make you pay quickly. They're not going to probe. They're not going to set things up. They're not going to look for each other and decide who's going to score. They're just going to attack. They put you in a hole.
Adjustments for AZ Compass Prep?
Just be solid with the ball. Get shots up to the rim. Doesn't matter if you make or miss them, but you got to get opportunity.
Ty Washington is the leading scorer for AZ Compass Prep with just 5 points. Number 3 in the neon green. Offensive rebound, Glenn Taylor, and a foul underneath.
Ty Washington needs some help Applewhite should be able to do that. He's headed to Mississippi State. He's a guy who can make an outside shot, can beat people off the dribble. A.J. Storr.
And it should be said, Paul, listen, this is not the same team for Ed Gibson that earned the 4 seed in this tournament, that has a 27-1 record with the only loss to Montverde. Deron Holmes ruled ineligible. He joined AZ Compass Prep midseason from Montverde after the deadline. And Sadrak Naganga, top 20 player in the junior class, is out with an injury. So AZ Compass Prep is severely shorthanded here.
And they're missing size. Deron Holmes makes a big difference on this team. But as we spoke to Coach Gibson this week, he said, you know, we were winning before Holmes came. So we can win in this tournament. And that's the confidence that he has in his team.
Lane violation on Wasatch Academy. One more for Taylor. Yeah, more small ball. You have Diongu, the 7-footer, inside. But not much size beyond that. And Diongu isn't even on the floor here to start the 3rd quarter. It is a true small ball lineup for the Dragons.
Yeah, I'm looking at 23, the neon green, Glenn Taylor Jr. You know, he's getting some interest from mid-level Pac-12 schools. Traore.
Isaacs with the lob inside. Traore has made all 7 of his shots. He's got 14.
But he catches the ball because he has strong hands, and then he has soft hands to finish the play. That's what you look for in bigs. The hands, the footwork, the head, and the hustle.
Isaacs trying the no-look to Traore. That one's picked off. Ahead to Ty Washington for the slam.
Ty's got a little burst at the end. I love to see him get the defensive rebound and push it up the floor. He has no wasted motion in his game. It's straight to the basket.
Oh, pass inside to Traore from Hickman. Both Isaacs and Hickman are feeding the big man.
Now, can you imagine when Nolan Hickman gets to Kentucky and he has all kinds of options on the floor with that type of passing ability?
Washington missed the 3, offensive rebound and the putback by Taylor. The best part is, Paul, Hickman is not the scoring first point guard. I got to get mine. He loves to involve everyone.
Yeah, he's not a pass first point guard. He's not a scoring first point guard. You know what he is? A winning first point guard.
Balanced. Traore is fouled.
They get the steal, the push. Ty straight to the basket. Nice strong punch. Good pass by Taylor. What vision, what accuracy. Great catch.
And Nolan Hickman, according to Paul Peterson, it says it's great when the best player on the team is also the best person. He's like the big brother to everyone. He never pouts, has a great attitude. Mr. Hustle in practice. Says that he's gotten a bloody mouth, bruises all over, diving on the floor. Just a great guy to have on the team in general, in addition to his talent. Isaacs missed the 3. Hickman picks it up.
Yeah, I love what Hickman said to me earlier. Expect adversity when you get to college.
Small is fouled that close to a chance at 3 the hard way.
And that's a real mature statement for a senior in high school.
Yeah, you don't hear that from many 17, 18-year-olds.
I'm still waiting to hear it from my daughters. 18 and 24.
You know they're watching.
And they know I love them.
Small at the line. Well, Sunday lineup, ABC and ESPN. NBA Sunday Showcase on ABC, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. Lakers and Clippers. The Women's National Championship, Sunday, 6 Eastern on ESPN. And that's followed by Sunday Night Baseball, the White Sox and the Angels. Sorry that the Red Sox opener was postponed. Rain at Fenway. Come on, what's going on?
Weather in Boston, unpredictable. Could snow next week up there.
Hopefully not like it did in Texas in February. Oh, all about that. Hickman missed the three.
Yeah, you guys down in Texas do not handle snow well. That's all I can say.
I don't think Boston would have handled the storm that we got in mid-February.
Yeah, it was rough. You're right. But still, I've been down there in ice storms.
Yeah, I'm with you. No, 1 inch of snow paralyzes the whole state. Loose ball, out of bounds. Last touch by AZ Compass. AZ Compass on an 11-game winning streak. Again, first Geico appearance and the first team from Arizona here at Geico National since Mike Bibby led Shadow Mountain in 2018.
Great name from the past.
Hickman the kick. Gale right down the chute. It's a triple.
Nolan Hickman, one-handed, left-handed pass right on the money.
Wow, Traore getting up to block the shot by Small. Collision, and it's Wasatch ball.
This is an elite playmaker. Comes off the curl. Look at his head up, looking right to the corner. With the left hand, puts it on the money. Fusini Traore just waits on it. You know, his body can still improve, Traore. He's big, he's strong, he's physical. But as he gets in ultimate physical condition, it's going to be a monster for BYU. They have a strength and conditioning coach named Eric Shork who will get him in tip-top shape.
Traore picked BYU over Seton Hall. Mark Polk, can't wait to have him on campus in Provo.
And I love his wingspan. I mean, his hands, they fall down by his knees.
10-point lead for Wasatch. Slapped out of Traore's hands. And again, off AZ Compass Prep.
Catches almost everything that's thrown at him. Hard passes, soft passes. Rebounds with 2 hands. Stud in the front court.
Washington in the ESPN 100 goes reverse side and curls it in.
Pretty move by Ty Washington. Had the wherewithal to understand to go to the other side.
Isaacs with the answer for Wasatch. Javon Small committed to East Carolina in early March, like a second point guard on the floor for AZ Compass Prep. Now Washington. 10 to shoot. Udoji loads up. Got it. A triple. And chance of defense from the AZ Compass Prep bench. There it is, the steal. Taylor, the lay-in. The Dragons are down 5.
Ty Washington, right on that steal. And now he's right on Nolan Hickman. I love this matchup between two of the best guards in the country.
Gale the pull-up. Washington the rebound. Oh, Washington dribbled it off his foot. Traore ahead to Isaacs. Left it short. Small blocked by Hickman, but a foul. Hickman incredulous. AZ Compass Prep within 5. We have a timeout.
Ty Washington, the start of the comeback. What a beautiful baseline spin. They punch it to the corner for 3. Wasatch playing great defense. AZ Compass Prep on the way back.
What's up, man? How you guys doing? Are you guys ready? You guys ready? I would like to introduce myself. My name is Nolan Hickman. I'm the director of the Give Back Camp 2020 virtual camp. I'm glad to have you guys here. You know, this is my second year doing this. I did it last year. I'm stoked to have you guys. I'm so excited to have you guys on the Zoom call. I'm so glad to have you guys.
Talking about one of the very best high school players in the country and giving back to his community in Seattle. Paul, setting up a virtual camp this past year for kids.
He went to the Elite 100 camp in St. Louis, and when he came back, he said, you know what, I want to start something for kids in my hometown of Seattle. So he started the Give Back Camp. And I love the way he started it. He said, I'd like to introduce myself. Well, everybody on the Zoom knew who he was. And he is just ahead of himself in terms of a person and a player.
Can you imagine being a kid, 8, 9 years old? That's Nolan Hickman, who is doing this camp. I can learn from him. By the way, you see Hickman on the bench getting stretched out off the floor at the moment for Wasatch Academy. AC Compass Prep as close as they have been since the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. Down by as many as 10. Gale. No. Diangu the rebound.
Gale's been quiet in this game.
Just 3 points. The Ohio State commit. Washington the spin. Rigsby reached in, knocked it out of his hands, but contact as well.
Wasatch moved to a zone. So what you have to do is identify who the shooters are, who the best players are, and shade the zone in that direction. So when Ty Washington catches the ball, he should see 2 players right in front of him. That time was too big of a gap.
And again, Washington was able to penetrate the zone there.
You go to a zone because you believe the other team can't shoot the ball or can't attack a zone defense. Ty Washington is the one guy on the floor who can beat you.
8-0 run for AZ Compass Prep. Just a 2-point lead for Wasatch Academy. Late stages, third quarter. Isaacs, the jump stop. Fouled. That's on Javon Small, his first.
The reason why Pop Isaacs got fouled, went hard to the basket, didn't avoid contact, came to a jump stop. That's why he got the call.
By the way, you wonder, how did Pop Isaacs get that nickname? Again, Richard Isaacs Jr. Well, as a toddler, he got a basketball, and he would just dribble in the kitchen nonstop. So that sound, pop, 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 pop. You're Pop. That's your name now, Pop Isaacs.
He grew up with a basketball in his hands. You know his dad, Richard Isaacs, West Coast legend in grassroots basketball.
Wasatch remains in that zone. And a foul on Keba Keita.
And you can hear the Wasatch, bench talking. What's going on? Who the shooters are.
Into the middle of the zone. Udoji trying to find Washington, knocked out of bounds by Gale.
And if you're AZ Compass Prep, you do want to gap the zone. You do want to throw it into the middle and then spray it to the corners. Or get it to the middle, look high-low. You can screen the zone, you can gap the zone, and certainly cut behind it.
Swing it around, Udoji fires. Jones secures it for Wasatch. Final minute of the third.
Great possession, a lot of movement. Player and ball just didn't get the shot to go in.
And Isaacs is fouled. Yet again. This time on the floor. And so he'll throw it in from the baseline. Winner of this one meets the top seed Montverde in the semifinals tomorrow on ESPN2. IMG, Sunrise, and Montverde have already moved through. Rigsby, short.
Great look.
About a 10-second difference between the clocks. Washington wants it. Catch and shoot over Rigsby. He bangs it home. We're tied. Washington has struggled with his shot all game, but rising to meet the moment here late in the third.
Yeah, Rigsby, you can't leave that spot with Ty Washington. Leave the middle open, but do not leave Ty Washington. You got to shade his side of the floor. Mental mistake.
Isaacs, can he put it up? Does he? No. Oh, time ran out, and Isaacs knew it. Wasatch doesn't get a shot off. AZ Compass Prep coming back from 10 down. And we are even heading to the fourth at Geico Nationals. Tied up, start of the fourth quarter. Last quarterfinal at Geico Nationals presented by Gatorade. The 4-5 matchup, AZ Compass Prep and Wasatch Academy. Even at 38. Ted Emmerich, Paul Biancardi, our entire crew. Nolan Hickman back on the floor for Wasatch and part of Kentucky's third-ranked recruiting class for 2021.
Bringing in some more talent to Lexington. Hopkins, see Nolan Hickman. Damian Collins, excellent shot blocker. They just got a commitment from a transfer. Kellen Grady, who can really shoot the ball out of Massachusetts, played at Davidson.
Traore misses for the first time. Armbruster the follow. The future Houston Cougar.
That's what the Houston Cougars do a great job of, getting their missed shot. This guy's going to fit in so well. You know, when you look at Kelvin Sampson, the way he evaluates, defensive-minded, guy who rebounds, has toughness, fights through adversity. It's all about the evaluation.
5 to shoot for AZ Compass Prep. A walk. 11th turnover for the Dragons from Chandler, Arizona, in the Phoenix area, making their first trip here to Geico Nationals with head coach Ed Gibson.
But they've been so much better in the second half with the turnover game. Only 2. You mentioned 11 for the game. They had 9.5. As we mentioned at halftime, they cut down their turnovers, made a few more shots. They got themselves tied.
Gale the floater. He's been quiet most of the game, but the Ohio State commit with the bucket.
I like his game. I like his versatility. He can be an excellent defender as well.
Again, Montverde awaits the winner tomorrow in the semifinals on ESPN2. Taylor missed the shot. It's out to Wasatch.
Gale with the catch, the swipe. Beautiful floater. Right move, right time. Buckeyes have Gale coming in, as well as Bruce Thornton, who is magnificent this afternoon for Milton.
In a losing effort, but they should not be ashamed. The only public school in the field almost came all the way back against IMG, the reigning champs from 2019.
If you're Chris Holtman, you got to feel good about your junior commits.
Isaacs, that's a 2. Not there. Here is Ty Washington, number 5 point guard in the senior class. 14 points and that close to a chance at 3. So yes, what's at stake? A date with the number 1 seed, Montverde, which destroyed Oak Hill earlier. IMG and Sunrise Christian winning close ones to start the day here in the quarterfinal round. It all starts 2:30 Eastern tomorrow on ESPN2. Nolan Hickman just picked up his 4th personal, Paul, and Washington is at the line for AZ Compass.
You know, Washington creates fouls because he has a great change of pace, but he also has a burst. Once he gets below the foul line, he understands to turn on the jets. He gets nice and low, Defense is usually late rotating to him because he's so fast. Puts the guy on his hip, gets to the line.
Hickman heads out with the 4 personals here early in the 4th. Brennan Rigsby, number 4, in the dark gray for Wasatch, back on the floor. So Isaacs runs the show almost exclusively now. Traore out to Rigsby.
That was
who rips it down.
That was a great pass by Traore.
Rigsby with the steal after the missed 3. Isaacs uncorks. Diagu saves it this time. Trouble at half court for Alden Applewhite. A.J. Storr, pure. A triple to give AZ Compass Prep its first lead.
What's been impressive about AZ Compass Prep, they never lost their composure in this game. They played through the scoring droughts, they played through the turnovers, and here they are with a 1-point lead.
Down by 10 midway through the 3rd quarter. They shot just 22% in the first half. Oh, Gale slipped and lost it. Washington catch and shoot. Diagu saves it. And out of bounds off Isaacs. AZ Compass Prep ball.
AZ Compass Prep putting the ball in the hands of the main man. He makes one more to Storr. Great give up, timely open shot.
Washington now with 3 dimes to go with 16 points and 8 rebounds. Small in the corner. And a timeout. Timeout for AZ Compass Prep. NBA Sunday Showcase. It's in LA. Lakers and Clippers, 3:30 Eastern on ABC, 12:30 Pacific. You can also catch it on the ESPN app. All right, so AZ Compass Prep with a 1-point lead after trailing by double figures in the 3rd quarter. Nolan Hickman in foul trouble, their star, 4 personal fouls. Just got to regain your composure, right?
It's going to go back and forth right down to the end. These are 2 evenly matched teams. Now, Wasatch Academy, they have the advantage inside with the big fella Traore. They can get him the ball inside. There's nobody for Compass Prep to cover him one-on-one. But for Wasatch, it's hard to cover this guy one-on-one, Ty Washington. Nolan Hickman has done a good job when they went man-to-man.
Ed Gibson says he has yelled at Washington at times this season to shoot more. He's by far the best shooter on the team, but says that Washington is so giving by nature. He wants to set the table for others. But Washington has stepped up his scoring when it's counted here in the 2nd half.
Yeah, he makes great decisions. He knows when he's open. He knows when his teammates are open.
And Washington open there. It's a 3-point lead for AZ Compass.
His scoring instincts are high level. He finds the open pocket of space, then he begins to operate. A lot of guys force it, not Ty Washington.
Gale, a teardrop, once again with the floater.
That's big for Wasatch Academy. You got Nolan Hickman on the bench. Somebody else has to step up and score.
Washington splitting 2 defenders and a foul on Pop Isaacs, his first.
You just get the feeling that Ty Washington is taking over this game. And there's only one guy that can slow him down. That's Nolan Hickman coming into the game right now.
At the 4:20 mark here in the 4th quarter, Hickman with 4 personal fouls back on the court. 7th team foul. 1-1 for Washington. Oh, in and out. Gale trying to thread the pass. He stepped out.
was great team defense. Guys just converging to the drive, helping outside the lane, forcing the turnover. I said this to you the other day, that the coaching in Geico Nationals is outstanding. I mean, all these coaches, yes, they're well prepared. They know the X's and O's, but the way they manage their team, the way they carry themselves, the way they teach the game, all high-level coaches. And you can see it in the games.
10 to shoot. Udoji. Glenn Taylor on the drive against Gale. Fouled. Yeah, there is no rolling the ball out there with all the talent on the floor. High-level coaching, high-level talent. Dramatic finish ahead in Fort Myers. The 2021 Geico High School Nationals is brought to you by Geico. Save even more when you bundle home and car insurance. Gatorade Zero. All the electrolytes. Zero sugar. And the Marines. The battle to the long begins here. Sun beating is set here in Fort Myers and on the quarterfinal round of Geico Nationals. AC Compass Prep up by a point. Well, tomorrow at halftime of our second semifinal, which starts at 4:30 Eastern on ESPN2, Trevor Keels, number 19 player in the senior class, one of the best uncommitted prospects on the board from Paul VI in the DC metro area, will make his announcement, PB.
It's looking at Duke, Kentucky, Virginia, Villanova. Top 5 shooters in the senior class. Difference maker when it comes to the three-point shot. We'll find out tomorrow at halftime. Second game.
Again, that game starts at 4:30 Eastern on ESPN2. Keels will join us at the half, but business here. Ty Washington himself, one of the top uncommitted players on the board for the class of 2021. Nolan Hickman headed to Kentucky. Phenomenal point guard matchup here in our last quarterfinal. AZ Compass Prep up by a point, and Glenn Taylor's at the line. It sounded like a brick, but it dropped in.
Sounded like a brick, and it was worth 1 point.
Whatever works, especially in a game like this where AZ Compass Prep is shooting just 31%. 3-point lead with 3.5 to play. Montford awaits the winner, the top seed here in the tournament.
AZ Compass Prep has done a good job getting to the line.
Traore blocked by Washington, and it's out to the Dragons.
This guy has some major ups. Watch this. From the weak side with 2 hands.
The 6th block by Arizona Compass Prep tonight. Isaac stepping in front. It'll stay here with Ty Washington and company. Washington a game high 18 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block, affecting the game in every way imaginable.
And you mentioned it earlier, Ted. Schools that are on his list: Kansas, Arizona, UCLA, Oklahoma State, Auburn, LSU. He's having a lot of communication with those schools right now.
Then decommitted from Creighton on March 11th and reopened his recruiting. Taylor late in the shot clock. And a foul. It'll be 1-1.
Taylor with the drive. Oh, yeah.
Yep. Armbruster. That's the 4th on Robbie Armbruster now. Nolan Hickman with 4, Armbruster with 4.
You know, a lot of guys are tired at the end of the game. Big game on the line. The chance to advance. You got to be careful with your mental mistakes.
Taylor missed the front end of the 1-and-1. Hickman playing with 4 personals, the future Kentucky Wildcat. Isaacs in the ESPN 60. Hickman, air ball. Hickman, just 4 points. He does have 8 assists, but 2 of 7 from the field.
Now he can shoot it. That time didn't have any legs, didn't have any lift in his shot, but he's the type of guy who can miss that shot like he did with an air ball, but come back a couple of possessions later and make a big time shot. He has that type of fortitude.
Washington setting up. Store from the corner again. On 3. Washington another time. 6-point lead. The largest of the game for AZ Compass Prep.
Store's made a couple of big threes in the second half. Loves that right corner. Sets it up, knocks it down. I am so impressed with this team, AZ Compass Prep, with their ability to hang in the game, and then the unselfishness. A lot of guys trying to get the lead back or trying to get back into the game, they try to go one-on-one, they try to play iso ball. Ed Gibson teaches a team game.
If AZ Compass Prep can hold on here in the final 2:25, they'll meet Montford for the second time this season. Lost to the Eagles in overtime back on January 28th. Their only loss of the season. But work to do. Semifinals begin at 2:30 Eastern tomorrow on ESPN2. Championship game Saturday at noon on ESPN.
How about the star power in the IMG Sunrise game?
That's another rematch from the St. James, in fact, a game we did on ESPNU, Sunrise winning. But yes, you'll have 3 McDonald's All-Americans on the floor in that one, with Moussa Diabate from IMG and Kennedy Chandler and Kendall Brown from Sunrise.
And when we start that game, there'll be 10 high majors on the floor for the tip. You want to see the future stars of tomorrow? Stick with Geico Nationals.
We've seen it all week long, starting with yesterday's first round. Isaacs from the corner. Ty Washington ahead with it. Again to the corner. Bullseye. Alden Applewhite. The lead continues to grow in the final minutes. And now a steal by Diangu. The pull-up by Applewhite. Offensive board, Glenn Taylor, and the putback. A double-figure lead. Foul called with 1:27 remaining. Isaacs on the attack.
You know, AZ Compass Prep started to come back into this game. Hickman had his 4th foul, had to sit on the bench. They made a bigger comeback. And now they're taking the game away from Wasatch. And it's been Ty Washington and the supporting cast. Look at him leading right now, talking to his teammates, making sure that everyone is matched up.
If you're tuning in for the Kentucky-Mississippi State baseball game, that will start on ESPN News. And we'll move to ESPNU after we're done here at Geico High School Nationals with the quarterfinal round. AZ Compass Prep in its first appearance in this fantastic tournament. Down by 10 midway through the 3rd and up by 11 with 1:23 to go. Traore, shot affected by Diangu. Traore puts it in with a foul.
Big time second effort by the BYU commit. Great catch, little pump fake, miss, quick second jump, nice finish.
They call him Foose. From Mali, broke his shooting hand last year. Worked on the touch with the opposite hand. Now more ambidextrous. And he leads Wasatch Academy here tonight. 20 points for the Tigers. Pressure. Washington right through it. The lob to Diangu. It's offline. Washington got it back. He scoops it in. Ty with 20.
He's hobbling a little bit, Ty Washington. Looks like he's got a cramp.
Wouldn't you in a game like this?
That's why they have Gatorade.
Stay hydrated. Now Washington, oh, the limp. Can't even put any weight on that left foot, yeah. Yeah, get the massager. You diagnose better than Tony Romo already. Thankfully, that is just a cramp.
Yeah, he grabbed that left calf. A little Gatorade, little massage. He'll be fine.
And AZ Compass Prep has it back. Inside a minute.
Thought Wasatch might have fouled in the backcourt.
Timeout for Ed Gibson and AZ Compass Prep. Well, we check out our Gatorade fueling performance, and what fueled AZ Compass Prep was late in the third quarter, their run.
And Ty Washington finds ways to put the ball in the basket, and he finds his open teammates. A lot of contributions here in the second half. Glenn Taylor Jr. in transition. Ty from deep. A.J. Storr had a couple of three balls from the right corner. This team was unsettled in the first half, but settled down in the second half.
And again, still getting that left leg worked on. Could not be more impressed. Again, their first appearance in this tournament. This is a program that is only 4 years old. By the way, it is a brick and mortar charter school in Chandler, Arizona. It's not some pop-up facade that you might see elsewhere. Ed Gibson does a phenomenal job. And oh, by the way, they're shorthanded. Deron Holmes ruled ineligible. He joined the school after the deadline for Geico. Sidrak Naganga, top 20 junior in the country, out with an injury. And yet, they are on their way to the semifinals.
They have strong guard play. Applewhite back in the mix. Just enough size. Diongu inside. Really good rim protector.
Isaacs fouled with 31 seconds to go. Our Buick player of the game, Ty Washington, a double-double for the number 5 point guard in the country. 20 points, 10 boards, and 5 assists.
He's always looking to make the right play to help his team win. He knows he can score a lot of points, but he knows he can set up his teammates. When you talk to him on the phone, you know, he finishes every sentence with whatever I got to do to help my team. And with that type of approach and that type of talent, you can see why he's so successful. He made a huge jump in the ESPN 100.
I was just about to say, Paul, from 83 in the fall to 34 now.
You watch him over the course of time, and you know, you see the same thing. You see productivity, you see consistency. His team wins, he leads.
I mean, you strap the rocket to his back, and it's well-deserved.
He's got all the firepower. We got one more set of rankings coming up the week of April 19th. This will be it for the senior class.
That's the deal. No McDonald's All-American game, no Nike Hoop Summit, no Jordan Brand. This is it for the class of 2021. Isaacs with the steal, lays it in, 20 seconds left. Wasatch down 6. Timeout.
Here Ed Gibson say you can't dribble it.
Yep. Yeah, and Gibson would love to have Washington on the floor in this situation to close it out.
You start dribbling the ball, pressured in the backcourt. Plus he was off balance. Best thing he could have did was call a timeout. It's better to stop the game than to lose possession.
Yeah. So they add a couple of seconds. 22 remaining. Washington getting stretched out, just like Nolan Hickman got stretched out in the third quarter, his counterpart at point guard for Wasatch, and I think Ty is returning.
He'd be great at taking the ball in bounds right here. Terrific passer. Doesn't have to move as much. Right now, Ed Gibson has him at the foul line in a tandem. Let's see how they get open.
Applewhite throws it in to Javon Small. There's Washington. And a foul by Armbruster. Robbie Armbruster fouling out with 10 points.
Really good job on their press offense. They got it on the side, then up the sideline. You want to have options in your press offense because defense is going to trap and rotate. You want to have the sideline, the middle, deep opposite, and all the spots covered.
Washington 6 of 7 at the line tonight.
How about that for toughness? I mean, 5 minutes ago, he couldn't walk.
Yes. Now he's hitting free throws like it's nothing.
That one didn't touch the rim.
AC Compass Prep has outscored Wasatch at the line by 11. And that's how they were able to hang around early when it was rough sledding from the field. They were getting to the line. Washington on the attack.
And Nolan Hickman being in foul trouble in the second half helped AZ Compass Prep in their comeback.
Rigsby, a 3-ball. And a timeout for Wasatch with 6.9 left. 5-point lead for Arizona Compass Prep.
Well, this is what has to happen. Steal, layup, or throw it out for a 3.
Right.
Same situation again. Line up man-to-man, you got no timeouts left. So it's all about steals and buckets as quick as possible if you can do it.
First points of the game for Brennan Rigsby, the 6th man for Wasatch.
And of course, if you can't get the steal, it's got to be a 1-second foul. For Arizona Compass Prep, be strong with the ball. Come and meet the pass. Know that you have a timeout. And don't panic.
.9 to go.
And a foul.
Oh, Taylor still has it. Ahead to Applewhite. AC Compass Prep winning in its first appearance at Geico Nationals. And Gibson and the Dragons aren't going home yet. They move on to the semifinals tomorrow to match up with Montverde. IMG and Sunrise lead us off 2:30 Eastern on ESPN2. For Paul Biancardi and our entire crew, Ted Emmerich saying so long. On to Starkville, Kentucky and Mississippi State baseball.